Hey, Dennis, my man. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Doing great, brother. Thanks for having me, man. Super
Beautiful,
excited.
beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here, my man. And you see, Dennis, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Dennis, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invested in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Dennis, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, my man, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, my man, but ripe mangoes. It was such a wonderful moment that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Dennis that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. Because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, the impact your work is having, your philosophy, your insight, how you're offering your solutions. These stuffs are amazing. And just before I sent you that request to say, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things that Dennis is doing, not only me now, but even the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Dennis. So thank you so very much for doing that yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, my man.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today, Dennis, for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Dennis, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information. And not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, ever since I realized that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Dennis on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, Dennis, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, my man, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Dennis, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Dennis got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Dennis, my man, over to you.
Well, I'm a 47-year-old restarter of life, I guess you could say. At 40 years old, I shut down a family business and decided to go my own way into my own business, which ended up becoming real estate. Prior to that, it was a construction business. Prior to all of that, I grew up in a really great blue-collar Italian home. Parents are amazing, great life, taught me everything I know. My father is my biggest mentor, worked with him for about 20 years together. And now I'm trying to build my own dynasty here in the real estate world in New Jersey.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad you got a great father. That's a wonderful one. Okay, let's just begin with this one. What is the biggest detriment to home buying right now?
I would say the biggest detriment to home buying is probably working with the right professionals, or working with, I should say, the wrong professionals. Most people who are looking to buy homes right now, they can afford them. They have the money. Otherwise, they wouldn't be looking for them. But if they don't have the right team working with them, that could be a very serious problem for them.
If they don't have the right team working with them, wow. I want you to talk more on that. Can you share some examples, maybe some stories of cases where working with the wrong team has affected a lot of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So here in the United States, getting your real estate, well, I'll speak for New Jersey. Getting your real estate license in New Jersey is very easy. It is not difficult to become a licensed realtor here. So you go through some schooling, you pass the school, then you take a state exam, you pass the state exam, and now you're a realtor. And you have the ability to go and do real estate just as any other realtor does. There are no different levels to realtors, but there are different scales of quality. You have, inexperienced versus experienced. Realtors who are in it just for the money versus realtors who are in it because they want to leave a lasting impression and really provide value for people. And then you just have realtors who got in it because, it's a quick buck and this is what they want to do. So in the markets that we're in, it gets very competitive. And I think it's about to get a lot more competitive, especially for the buyers. We're seeing a lot of shifts here in New Jersey that the remainder of the country has already started seeing. So if you don't have a realtor who isn't experienced and isn't willing to put the time into their business to continue to educate themselves and learn different techniques and learn different negotiation tactics and understand the pitfalls of certain things and how they can happen and how we can navigate around them, that's going to be detrimental to you as a buyer. If you don't have the right attorney working for you, if the attorney and the realtor don't know each other, if the attorney, the title company, and the realtor don't know each other, if everyone is a complete stranger and nobody knows how each other works, that could also be a detriment to you. So you always want to make sure that you start with finding the right realtor, because a good realtor, a professional realtor, will have his or her own team already in place. That realtor will already have vetted everyone that they work with, and they bring that whole team to the table. So if you don't have the right realtor and the right team in place working for you, it could be a huge detriment to you.
I think I get it now. And I love how you broke it down. Many of these guys just go into this stuff for different missions and purpose. I got it. Okay, so since you're staying in New Jersey, do you think New Jersey is the next Florida?
That's a loaded question. In some ways, I think we already are. I heard a statistic a couple months ago. I didn't fact check this, but I did hear that we have already surpassed Florida in the amount of 55 and over communities available for residents. So in that case, if that is true, then we've already started to get there. What I am seeing is I'm starting to see people who move to Florida and also the Carolinas. We're starting to see those people coming back to New Jersey because it has gotten so expensive in those states regarding insurances and HOAs that it just doesn't make sense. Even though the cost of living is less down in those states, the other costs that they're incurring now to live, they far exceed what we have over here and what homeowners are experiencing here. I mean, it would be really, really hard to say New Jersey is the next Florida. There are some significant differences. Some of it has to do with politics. Florida's a red state. New Jersey's typically a blue state. I would like to see New Jersey turn red, but I don't know if that would ever happen. But the way that the states are run has a lot to do with that politically as well.
I got that. I got that. Okay, let's say we've got some realtors listening right now, and they ask a question like, what are the things I can improve on to make a better realtor? what would your response be?
So if I'm speaking to other realtors, my advice to you, number one, is to figure out the type of realtor you want to be. Whether that means you want to find a niche market to excel in, or you want to be like the best overall realtor you can possibly be, and then just completely dive into that from start to finish. Audit your business model every 3 to 6 months. Figure out what's working versus what's not working. Adjust and make changes based on that so that you can provide a better experience for your clients, and continuously educate yourself. Literally, don't ever stop educating yourself. You can you can listen to podcasts, you can watch videos on YouTube, you can read books, you can do audiobooks. Take your free time and invest yourself into your business.
And that's very important. We must always be a continuous learner. I got that. That's a profound one, my man. Okay, so, seeing how experienced you are, all right, which is, I don't know how true this is, if it is a great advice or not. Do you think it is always better to own than rent? What do you think about that?
No, I don't. Overall, if your goal is to make money, then yes, 100% owning real estate is the way to go. You will always make money on your investment over time. But if there are short-term reasons why home ownership is not a good idea, there are also other personal reasons. For example, my cousin, she likes not having to pay for anything when it breaks. And she doesn't really know if she's going to stay in the town she's living in right now. And she doesn't want to go through the hassle of putting a house up on the market, having to go through a sale or anything like that. So she's very content just paying rent, knowing she can up and go literally whenever she wants. Something breaks, she calls the landlord. It's very convenient for her. So some people enjoy having that convenience of not having the responsibility. So it really is a personal preference, but 100%, if you want to make money in this world, or if you want any type of retirement or exit strategy for yourself down the road, certainly real estate is the way to go.
Beautiful, I got that. So you mentioned politics while you were talking earlier, and I wanted to ask, does politics have a role in real estate at all?
Not in real estate. Not really. We really try to keep politics out of real estate. Real estate is always going to be happening. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who's running the state. It doesn't even matter what type of market we're in. It doesn't matter if we're in a recession. It doesn't matter if we're in a seller's market or a buyer's market. It doesn't matter if we're in a boom. What matters is what you are doing in the market as an agent. It has nothing to do with the type of market that we're in. So when it comes to politics or any other outside factors, I don't think any of that would be a reason to say real estate is either doing good or not good, or it affects it one way or another.
I got that. So one more question ago. So what made you get involved in real estate, and how has the journey been so far?
So the journey has been wonderful. It really has, on multiple levels. Obviously, I got into real estate originally to supplement my income. I had another job at the time working full time, and I needed a little bit more money because I just wasn't making enough, and there wasn't a way to make any more with that one job. So I got into real estate to supplement my income, and that turned into me just completely surpassing the income I was making with the other job, and then some. And that is when I made the decision to just switch over to real estate full time. And since doing that, which was about 6 years ago, it has completely changed my life. So it has been a wonderful experience. I've met a ton of super cool people, strangers, absolute strangers that I never would have talked to or met any other way in life if it hadn't been for what I do now. And I have learned about different cultures. I have learned about different countries. I have tasted different cuisines. I've been to barbecues and parties that I've never experienced before. It's so rewarding, and it's on such a different level. It is beyond the career. Like, being a realtor is beyond just being a realtor for me. And it has provided me with not only a great way to earn a living, but it has provided me with a great way to live my life, and also to now be able to give back to not only everyone that I've worked with, but everyone that I can work with in the future.
Amazing. That sounds really fun and rewarding, just like you mentioned. Okay, so to bring this to an end, my man, for folks who are just getting started in real estate, and what are some advice or tips you'd like to share with them?
Okay, the first piece of advice I'm going to tell you is, if you're just starting out in real estate, get in touch with me, right? Let me guide you, because there are a lot of realtors out there that just don't care about you. And I am in a position where I can give back. I can provide that time, and I'm willing to take the time. But if you don't get in touch with me, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Educate yourself. Go on YouTube and go to school, meaning go to school using YouTube. Go search videos. Listen to different realtors. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that will give you the information you need to figure out the type of realtor you either want to be, or the direction that you think you might want to take your real estate business. And educate, educate, educate. But most importantly, don't ever make it about yourself. Don't ever make your business model about you. Make it about helping everybody else, and I guarantee you the business will come.
Profound words, I tell you. That's a great
Yes,
one. I
sir.
love the last part. That's a great one. So for folks who like to reach out to you, Dennis, want to learn more or open your services, how can that be possible?
Anything on social media, you can find me, Dennis Mark Real Estate. Super easy to find me. You can call me, 732-598-2672. Call, text, smoke signal, whatever works for you.
Awesome, my man. So that's going to be the end of the show, Dennis. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. You've really educated me today. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you, my brother. It was a pleasure being on this.